So, hello, and it's a pleasure to be here today at the NOAH conference. So, digital, sustainable, and profitable. Okay, so let's get started. I'm David Avery. I'm representing Tech, and I work as part of the network of organizations supporting Switzerland overall. So our goal is really helping people understand what Switzerland has to offer, helping companies within Switzerland help to grow and flourish. And it really is all about the network. You see here a list of some of the partners, and of course we are here upstairs, and our goal really is to tell you a little bit about what we're doing and to help you understand how to engage with us. So, Switzerland is growing. Switzerland is a vibrant place. Switzerland has, many deals going on. It's the place to be if you're investing. And that is in a large part down to the fact that Switzerland is a leader in innovation. For example, many of the indices show how Switzerland has consistently been at the forefront of innovation over many years. This innovation is driven by, to a large extent, our network of institutions, be they universities, technical high schools, and other institutions with which you can engage. They're places for corporates to talk to run projects with, to do research with, but they're also places for companies, big and small. And naturally, they're the birthplace of many of the key startups that we are looking at and are having such an impact. And our goal under this Tech brand, of course, is to foster each of those relations and to support at all stages of that value chain. So, Switzerland. I want you to think of Switzerland as a place. I want you to think of Switzerland about creating value. Not about cost, high cost or whatever, but certainly about creating value. It's a place for work. It's a place for companies to thrive. It has excellent labor relations, excellent working conditions, not very long holidays, and probably the 8th highest level of productivity of many countries. But more than that, it also has a workforce that are highly skilled, multilingual, and a workforce open for you. So, it's a great place to be. And it's a great place for companies. We can see quarter after quarter how the number of deals is growing and in which sectors they're growing. And of course, that brings us back to this digital, sustainable, profitable. Why we're here today. We see the diversity and the strength that we have in different sectors, be it IoT, be it in life sciences, or what is dearest to me, in Cleantech. And we see examples of different corporates, different companies thriving in Switzerland. Companies who are, of course, also potentially partners to do business with and who are leading the charge in exporting from Switzerland and making it the vibrant place it is. As a second example, here from the life sciences. And I'd like to take you on a journey from here to then look at maybe some of the other sectors and try to inspire you with some of the companies and the different ideas that are growing. Maybe that gives you ideas, you think of other companies from other places, and you can see how that might work together. And of course, that's also part of what we're here for. Fostering partnerships, fostering that discussion, helping people become engaged. And the first of these I'd like to look at is the most sexiest of topics, water and wastewater. But here, from the top, we can look at how we create safe drinking water, how technology is playing a role, how digital technologies are playing a role in helping, for example, bring the time for testing down from 24 hours to maybe 20 minutes, thus providing a much shorter cycle time and helping us understand the water that we have, understand how we might save water, how we might measure the water is used, how that information that might then flow back up through cloud services to allow us to better manage the whole network, thus wasting less, thus being more efficient, and finally, of course, at the end of that water cycle, that we have technologies that bring us to waste treatment and allow us, of course, to start all over again. Second example, IoT, the heart of smart cities. In Switzerland alone, more than 75 or about 75% of the population are living already in urban areas, and that is growing by not quite 1% per year. So we see that how important those urban areas are to everybody. And of course, we see the same trends in many countries around the world. Switzerland has 3 of the top 10 smart cities in the world as measured by the IMD indices. And that, in part, of course, depends on the technologies that can be used. Depends on metering, looking at how energies, how water, how gas, electricity, and so on are used and where they are used. The same for measuring in all sorts of other sectors. Here, just some examples, for example, for air quality, water, or in other areas, looking at how hazards can be measured, looking at how in industrial processes problems can be avoided. Sensors and sensor technology is around us and is a core part of our future. And of course that provides data that can then be aggregated, can be used, and can be helped to manage in a more efficient way, to reduce our overall impact, to increase our efficiency. Looking at waste processing, here we could go on for hours, but let me keep it short. In Switzerland, we have a policy of separation, followed by trying to minimize the impact of collection, followed by the way in which that can be used, either as the start of a circular economy, or how currently it can be reprocessed to gain thermal energy, and after that, how we can recover essential minerals. Naturally, we would all like a truly circular economy, but in the meantime, let us at least make the best with what we have while we work towards other future solutions. And to end my very brief delve into technology, let me try to show you just a couple of ideas. If all of that isn't enough to bring us on track for some of our climate goals, then we will need more. And more in this sense could be how we extract carbon directly from the atmosphere, and then or carbon dioxide, and what we can use it for. For example, producing synthetic jet fuels, which might allow us to start to decarbonize the transport, the flight industry. Or how maybe we could bind CO2, thus reducing the production of CO2 during the production of concrete. With here the example can bind in 10 kilograms of CO2 per ton and effectively decarbonize by roughly 10%. I hope that with that very brief tour I have given you some inspiration as to what Switzerland is and what Switzerland represents. Naturally, there is much more that can be said and much more you can find out here, either about the technologies or about Switzerland and working with Switzerland. And of course, if once you are a Swiss company, we are here to support you with other information. Please feel free to look at all of the links and feel free to be inspired and to reach out to us and talk to us here over the rest of today and over tomorrow. And it's been my pleasure to be here with you today at NOAH. Thank you very much. David Avery.